We're good? Jump in. There we go.
How's that lighting looking?
We're good? We're good, okay? Try a different little scene here.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, you wonderful, wonderful people.
Wonderful.
All 10,000.
10,000
W.
That's kind of crazy.
10,200, but who's counting? Am I right or am I right?
So you, early this year, Tiffany, you wrote down in a book when we was January, correct?
Yes, I did.
And it was 700 and something at the time.
In this book right here, good things come to those who hustle. You know what the deal is?
You know the deal.
Goal setting is very big, guys. So,
yes,
you know,
particularly this time of year.
Particularly this time of year. So last year around this time, we created our goals for 2020, and one of those goals was to hit that 10,000 subscriber mark.
Yeah.
And at that time, I think we had...
It was like did you say 727?
Yeah, I think it was 727. So we had 727 subscribers at that point.
And we picked 10,000, which at the time seemed really unrealistic.
Yeah, like to have 700 subscribers, I think that...
Yeah, to get 10K in a year.
300, we're gonna...
Yeah, and at the time we weren't even monetized. This was obviously we were less than 1,000.
Yeah, we got monetized in February.
Yeah.
In that video that we'll leave in the description below, which was... Did we go into how to get monetized on YouTube in that video?
I don't know, but someone did ask us to do more videos about YouTube stuff.
Okay.
So if anyone's interested, I know we talk mostly about Instagram because that's mostly what you guys are interested in, but if anyone wants
to talk about other things, guys, let us know.
It wouldn't be, we wouldn't be opposed to something like that, just to switch it up.
It just seems like that's mostly the questions people have, so of course we know where your questions are, but hey, if you want us to talk about something else, let us know.
Please listen. It's not that serious, but like it would be nice to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, the goal setting this time of year is important to look at what's happening next year. Next year we're going to have loftier goals. We have some pretty strong targets that we want to hit, and this year was great because we got a bunch of the momentum after we got monetized. I feel like it just kept going.
Yeah.
You guys have just been really supportive and
there's this thing out there that says that
Mm.
when you're monetized, YouTube pushes your videos more.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I wonder if that's a thing. It would make sense because they're going to make money by pushing you more. So there could be an element of that. But we did also get smarter with how we created our videos. Speaking of Instagram, giving people what they want, what they ask for, looking for top questions and answering them through video, and like really making sure that we go detailed. We've really made it a fact to not be like surface level. Yeah. And try to make sure that we give you something that you can walk away with. And that's some of the feedback we get a lot, where people are like, okay, yeah, this is like meat. Like you're giving us meat.
Yeah, we can actionable. We can do this immediately, and people have been telling us all their results. Some of them seem like
amazing.
Really
Sometimes we're like, "Whoa,
like how is that possible?" I don't know.
It's great. No, well, it's what we say. You can do it. Yeah. It just most people don't. So it just shows when you really apply, you get way better results than we even expect. So yeah, it's amazing.
Which happened with this. So first of all, I guess we just want to thank you guys so much for continuing to come back. Every day. A lot of people are binging and they'll leave like comments on all the videos. I mean, this is still fairly newish to us. This is really when it picked up this year. Yeah. So now I've made it. It's like one of the first things I do when I get up and I go to the computer and I'll respond to all the comments. And I'm always seeing the things that people are saying, and like sometimes the same person will leave like 10 comments across a bunch of videos. I'm like, wow, this is pretty wild to us. So we are honored. Humbled by it. It's fantastic. We're super proud. This is probably our favorite thing that's happened to us. I'm not gonna lie.
I would say so, yeah. YouTube? And it's hilarious because it took us so long to start.
We wanted to do it so long.
It's my fault, mostly.
Well, it's okay. You had to be ready.
You had to warm up to the camera, Like,
you're a pro. Look at you.
Oh, gosh. Gosh, one day maybe we'll show you the videos that never made it because we did film a batch of videos. They were freaking terrible. They're so bad. Maybe never. We'll see.
We'll see. But either way, we're grateful. We appreciate you guys. This is something that we take very seriously. It's it is a lot to juggle because we do run an agency with employees, with large demanding clients that takes up a lot of our time. Yeah. And
we would actually share more content if.
Oh, so much.
We were running like a agency full time.
I know like a lot of people in our space that don't actually do stuff. Like, maybe they used to do stuff. When I say stuff, I mean like actually do the work that they're talking about. We do this day to day. So it's difficult for us to try and find the time to actually come up with the concepts, make sure we're giving people what they want, film it, edit it. Now we have a brand new editing machine right there.
Oh yeah, that's our 10K present. It wasn't really actually.
No, it was just something that we need to get.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So
it was for YouTube though when you think about it too. Like, sorry, it's for 100%. Production. It's like our production machine. We do podcasts, so it's like we need audio as well.
Yeah.
So audio and visual machine there. So
yeah, that's something that hopefully will make it. We beasted it out, so hopefully it'll fly. This will be the first video you guys see that Tiff would have edited.
And it better be quick.
Yeah, we're gonna be
after all the stuff that we put in that machine. I better be swimming in like editing this. Better take me 5 minutes to edit.
The whole no transcoding, none of that.
Nothing, no transcoding.
We haven't got RAM yet though.
Oh yeah, so I think we need RAM, but yeah.
But we just want to start this video off to just say thank you guys. It means a lot to us. This is like, a very important part of what we do, and the idea is to make this a larger part of what we do and spend more time on YouTube in 2021. That's really what we want to do and give you guys more what you want. If there are other things that you want us to talk about, whether it's YouTube or other social networks, if anyone's interested in any other social networks, please let us know in the comments. I will be personally responding to all of them. So
this is a good segue.
I was about to say,
good segue, but also yes, thank you from our hearts. We love all 10,000 of you, and we look forward to continuing this YouTube journey with you.
Yes.
And if you want to start a YouTube channel and you've been waiting, get her done, okay? Put it in a book of what you want your goals to be. Make them large but attainable so you don't feel disgruntled. But that is the key to creating goals. So
we're sort of learning now. Though.
And that's what we learned, because this is the year in terms of finances, even like our revenue that we wanted to make and just all the other goals that we had in line. We basically hit majority of them or came very close.
Yeah.
And the reason is because we made really large goals so that you're really powering to get to the top. And the worst thing, you try to hit the moon, you're going to fall amongst the stars. That's what's going to happen otherwise. So hitting 70% of a goal that's already double what you did the year before is pretty incredible. So,
yeah, great way to put it. 100%.
So yeah, thank you guys. Now, speaking of other social media platforms,
shall we?
Let us talk about Clubhouse.
So...
first, comment below and let us know if you are in Clubhouse, because we have been thinking about perhaps doing a Q&A in Clubhouse.
Or at least holding a room and maybe bring it, I don't know if it's just you and I, or whether we would bring other people, or at least just announce it, promote it, and pick a date and a time type of thing, and then make sure that people know we're going to be there. So let us know if that's something that you guys are interested in, because we do want to give it a crack.
So what is Clubhouse?
What is it?
So Clubhouse is the new hot social media app on the block. It is a audio first app, or should we say audio only app. So, we go to Instagram for these beautiful visuals. You go to TikTok for these fun short clips. You go to Twitter to speak your mind. You go to LinkedIn to network. You go to Facebook to see what your auntie's up to. And then, to connect with businesses and stuff. But then Clubhouse comes in as this very interesting, different way of connecting with people.
Can I describe it? I've got two ways to describe it.
Okay, yes, please do.
The way that I describe it, it's an audio Zoom call. There's a host or a series of hosts, and then there's an audience, and they also would have different people who you can raise your hand to speak. So it kind of is like a Zoom call where there's a host and everyone's muted, and then there's a presentation type of thing, because it is very presentation focused, and then other people can join in and ask questions and so on and so forth. The other way my friend explained it to us, he said it's like a podcast he can politely chime in on.
I liked that viewpoint. That's a cool way to say it.
I think that really explains it. Just want to get that in there before you kind of got to the meat of it, but that already hopefully should paint a bit of a picture.
Yeah, I consider it like a live podcast that you get to chime in on, I guess. So it's almost like if you were able to be invited up to go speak. It's also why I consider it like a panel. I think of it more as like a panel.
Yeah, it's like a panel too.
The ones that I like the most. So in terms of the rooms, which we'll get into, the rooms that I enjoy most are the ones that are like a panel. So it feels like there are these experts speaking, and then people can ask questions and do all that stuff, or come up to the stage and give their own thoughts and opinions.
Yes.
So that's my favorite version. But it could be anything, because there's a wide range of topics. So Clubhouse is this app. There's something that's like a hallway, and in that hallway there are a ton of rooms. So even think about
it. It's like a feed.
Yeah, think about it back in the day when you had forums and stuff like that, right? So there's forums, and then there's this topic, and then you can enter and start talking about whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah.
And that's kind of feeling like that, except it's just an audio version.
Yep.
The topics vary so widely, so it can be from, it's funny, like Craig, when he got on, it was like pure music. you were getting all the time?
Yes, because that's who I follow. It's primarily connected through Twitter, so that's how I found out about it. And I think I saw someone tweet about it and got the invite from there. A lot of what I follow on Twitter, a lot of the type of industry people I follow are from the music industry, so I'm getting a whole bunch of those. So there's everything from like A&Rs to like actual famous rappers and all different things like that. And people, all the groups I was seeing in the hallway section were all to do with, you know, how A&R works and different things, tricks to get your music noticed and blah, blah, blah. So I thought, before I looked into it, that it was primarily a music-focused app because I wasn't seeing anything else. And then as over time, we've spent some more time on it the last maybe, 2 weeks?
It's when I signed up.
Yes.
And I was just like, oh, look at all these great marketing conversations going on, you know? Like, people are talking about content creation. And this one, you're like, what? All I see is music. Like, what are you talking about? And it's because the algorithm is feeding you. There is somewhat of an algorithm happening there. There aren't that many rooms because you can really, like, I feel like you can knock the rooms out pretty quickly, like see the list pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But you also have to follow more people. So given the people I follow, I was getting recommended a lot of like marketing conversations, which was awesome. So I really liked it for that point of it. So in the hallway, there are rooms, and the rooms are topics that people are joining in. If you go into a room, you're going to see in the setup on the inside is that there's a moderator. So that's usually the person who started the room, or like they got moderator status and passed on, but that's the person who's controlling the room.
Right.
So there's the moderator, there are speakers, and all of these people are on something that's called a stage. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
And there's this stage. So all the people on the stage are allowed to speak. The moderator, though, controls everything. They can unmute you and mute you, and I think kick you out as well. I haven't seen anybody get kicked out, but I've heard that you can get kicked out.
I saw someone tweet about it.
Oh yeah? You're getting kicked out?
Because they said they wanted to see a versus between Beyonce and Soulja Boy.
And someone kicked it. Okay,
kicked him out.
I feel like you're right to get kicked out.
Yeah.
And then you have the audience, so that's everybody else who's joined the room, and you can actually put your hand up and get invited to the stage to talk. But it's a lot of interesting conversations that are happening that are, again, audio only. Yeah. I do like that part of it because then you don't even need to get dolled up because you can just hang out. Yeah. You're like literally like on the couch, kind of like chilling and listening to a conversation.
Yeah.
It opens up to, and this is why it's a likened to podcast so much too, because you can just kind of like have it going even in the background. And some of these rooms, in terms of the conversations that are in these rooms, last forever. Like, it is insane.
Wouldn't you say there was one that was 20 hours or something?
Yeah, there was something that was like a 20-hour marathon, but I've seen people like, just 6-hour rooms, 3-hour rooms. Like, I come in and I'm like, okay, I have to do stuff now. Like, I have to leave. Like, I can't be in here listening to this forever. But sometimes you can listen passively. Yeah. And what's also cool is that you can leave the app and still listen. So I think that's something smart that they did, where like, say for example, YouTube, unless you have YouTube, like the premium, you can't get out of the app and still listen. So I think that was very smart that they did that. There's a lot of buzz around it, and mainly it's because it's invite only.
Yes.
So because it's invite only, it's made it more like, you know, mysterious and exclusive.
Though it's not really. There's got to be 100,000 users or something.
I think it actually only just hit 100,000.
It did, okay.
There's some incredible growth that it's having now. I was only invited by a content strategist, invited us. I don't know if I want to put her on blast because maybe people ask her for invites. Yeah, so our content strategist invited us. Shouts to you. And then that's how I got in. And then Craig, as he mentioned, he got in through Twitter. Another reason why it's like so popular is because there are a ton of celebs on there that are like jumping in and sometimes having their own room. The guy we know had Kevin Hart in his room. Things went down in that room.
Yeah.
But, you know, Ava DuVernay goes in there. Oprah's in there. Drake's in there. So there's a bunch of celebrities in there. So that's also what's that exclusive
Strange
part
how,
of it.
I guess that's probably because that's how it attracted these celebrities.
Yeah.
Because initially, if you look at it, it almost seems kind of like weird that you'd just be in this room where anybody can listen and talk to you. But I guess because of that exclusivity, it isn't just anybody that is in there. So I guess it feels like a bit of a smaller, tighter knit community. And there's not like, what's the biggest room you saw? The volume of people,
900,
just to give you an idea.
I think.
Okay, I saw one with 2,000 or 3,000. I forgot who it was. It was someone who was quite big. Like, it was like someone like Mace or something like that, like a rapper with a name or something that was talking about stuff. And the Kevin Hart one, I think, had thousands in there as well. But that was when Kevin Hart did it. It was maybe a month ago, and that was before there were thousands per room. So I think he stepped up.
Probably brought a lot of attention to it. Yeah. So why we think Clubhouse is a very interesting app and something that you should pay attention to are for a few reasons. So we can go over pros and cons.
Sure.
One of the pros that I've identified is thought leadership. So there's a really good opportunity here to be positioned as a thought leader, and because the app is so small, you could really like get ahead and get in front of a lot of people. and the barrier to entry is quite low. So you can position yourself in your space no matter what it is. The topics, I'm telling you, vary. So beauty, photography, content creation, music, like it can be anything. You can start a topic on that, or you can start a room, start conversations, connect with people based on your topic, and that makes it so niche. Like, it's so niche because it's like, oh, that's the room. I enter it, and these are the exact type of people I want to connect with. It's awesome because of that.
Can I piggyback off that point?
Yeah.
Because what you noticed just for being in a room, you were getting follows on Instagram just for being in a room. So your bio is only connected to Twitter and Instagram. There's no link in the bio, there's no Facebook, there's no other networks. So if you're just in the room, and that means you automatically have this affinity with everyone else who's in there because you share a common topic that you're interested in. So people be listening, like you were saying, you can go out of the app and keep listening. So you'd be going, oh, who's this person? Okay, let's see what they do. Let's check out their Instagram.
That's exactly what I do.
Right.
I go to the app and I look at people and I go to their Instagram account.
So everyone else is doing that. So it's a discovery tool. Just to piggyback off that. It's completely a great way to grow your immediate network, and it could not be more targeted. Like all the other Instagram tips that we're giving, I feel like this is an ultimate way to grow.
So one of my second pros was it can grow your Instagram following.
Boom.
So that's the other one I was thinking, and that's because because that's good, because that is the thing. Like, I've noticed it that I'm getting followers from just being in the room. I am not even speaking or moderating. I'm just being in the room because everybody is looking to connect on the app. So they're going through and they're engaging with each other. So I've been even finding people that I think are interesting and engaging with them as well. So this is going to become, and we always end up talking about Instagram growth, a great Instagram and Twitter growth strategy because it could not be more targeted, and people are actually open to connecting. Like, they are in that app to connect and have those conversations. So this is a really great opportunity. So I would even just be going into rooms, hanging out, and then start proactively targeted interactions. Start interacting with people. That is going to be a very big key to growth, and we'll report back even on that when I start being more proactive in the app. But that's just something from just a few trials I realized was very, very cool. Monetization. That's also doable in the app.
Okay.
And the reason why that's doable is I've heard people who have been on the stage or who have been speakers or moderators, and in the end have sold courses from those conversations. So they're on there, and then people are like, oh my gosh, you know so much, like, how do we stay connected? And they'll be like, hey, check me out on Instagram, send me a DM, let me know that you're in the thing, and I'll send you a link to my course on this, or I'll enter you my webinar here, you know. Or people are like, hey, I've taken notes from this panel discussion, you know, like, message me on Instagram, and like, they built that connection from there. So people are selling their products and networking. Investors, I've seen people that have gotten investments in their business from rooms already. Yeah, just connecting with investors. There's real estate projects and things like that. They're in there. I get a lot of the real estate stuff too. So there's opportunities to monetize. Might not be directly in the app, but it's the connection that you make that you can bring somebody to get you that monetization.
Yeah, that's great. I also think there's a lot of possibility just for learning. Just hearing people talk and maybe getting some concepts, maybe it sparks some ideas, you know, hearing the way people interact and respond to different problems. There's some rooms, one of the ones you were playing last night was a social media room, and I'm not sure who the hosts were, but they were just reviewing people's social media accounts and giving them tips and stuff. And I thought that was pretty interesting, just the way that different people would approach the problem as well. So it kind of helped maybe with critical thinking, or just the way that you would approach something, even if you might have a similar issue or whatever, something you're dealing with that's similar to other people in the room, and then you get the responses and you can sort of maybe better apply them directly to yourself without even directly participating in the conversation. So I definitely see a lot of value.
I love that, the educational, and that's the panel part that I like. Because it feels like you're sitting
like you're in a panel.
And the real estate, say for example, the marketers, that's like cool conversations to hear other marketers talk, but I'm really learning from the investment in real estate forums.
That's more interesting to me, because if we hear the marketers, I'm like hearing the people last night, I'm like, that's what we say.
It's the same thing that we talk about,
channel. So I'm like, oh, we could probably, easily do this because it's the exact same stuff. It wasn't, anything super wild. As far as the cons for something like this, I'm just talking about my Twitter universe, people are constantly trashing Clubhouse, and the people who get on stage who don't know anything, who haven't done anything, and are literally telling people the wrong information. So apparently there's a lot of...
You have to be careful with that.
Like a lot of fraudulent information coming out. Now, this is once again not to do with social media. This is predominantly music stuff, which tends to come along in that industry. But a lot of people like A&Rs who are, say they've done this but never did it, or saying this is how you do this but it's not true. They call it capping, is what the kids say these days.
What? What's that?
As in, like, it's true. Like, you know, they say no BS. Like, if you know, no cap is like no BS. That's really funny. That
I'm older now,
eh?
I'm older now. Yeah.
Yes, we're getting old. You know.
Jeez. Okay.
I feel like some of them can go on too long, and it's almost like the information that people were giving. I could have watched that in a YouTube video in 7 minutes rather than sat there for an hour and got the same amount of information. There's sort of too much talk.
Sorry, what you said about the expert thing. You should go and look at the people that are speaking and see what they're doing. So just like that. So it's like if you see a bunch of people that are saying vet the experts. So it's like if you see a bunch of people on the stage and they're talking, like go in because you get the opportunity. You don't have to leave the app. You can be like, who's this person talking about this and this? And if they're like, Instagram growth, best ways to grow on Instagram, and they have like 8 followers on their Instagram account, probably not the people that you're going to want to listen to. Unless they have here, check out all my clients. Yeah. And then you see the clients are killing it. Do you know what I mean?
So I think it's easier to know that in a world like social media because it's exactly that. It's immediately obvious. Yeah. Whereas something like music industry, you don't know for sure. There's no real like documented way to prove that this person worked on this project and so on and so forth. So that's kind of the main cons, and I guess it just takes so long. Like I saw people say, like, you know, all these A&Rs saying that they, you know, spending 10 hours on Clubhouse a day, but they do all this work. Like, when are you finding the time to do the work when you're sitting there listening to this thing? So I don't know. I feel like there's much more possibility than negative. The negative side seems to be a very small sort of niche that, or maybe it's a large niche, but it's that niche so far. A few of those cons come across to other things, but I think overall it's an exciting time because there hasn't been a new social media app. I mean, I guess you could say TikTok, that's still been around for years and people only cared about it really in the last year or two.
And it's very much not for most our really demographic that the majority of us are trying to hit.
Exactly right.
So like TikTok's exciting for those who really care about the Gen Z, but like right now Clubhouse is like for us. It's like for adults and people who want to connect with other adults or sell to other adults. Yeah. So I think this is something that's more interesting for us.
Yes, I'm definitely looking forward to getting a bit deeper into it, and hopefully once again, if any of you guys are already on it or are trying to get on it and you think this would be interesting, if we would hold a panel or a room or whatever, whether it's just us or there's other folks that we want to bring on, or even just a Q&A session where people can we could do that, like order people's accounts.
I'd be so down to do a Q&A session. You could just come in and ask us everything that you would ask us in a YouTube video and the questions below and stuff like that. So please let us know. Let us know if you've got any questions about Clubhouse as well. Yeah, since we're on the inside, if you're not on the inside, we can like let you know what's going on. Just holler at us. And let us know if you'd be down for those in Clubhouse right now. Let us know if you'd be down for a little Q&A session.
That's it.
One thing I want to say is that I'm very interested to see what marketers do to ruin the app. So that's going to be interesting to follow.
Like, this room is brought to you by.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, we don't want to keep it.
All right, guys, thank you so much. We're about 40 seconds out before this memory card runs out. So thank you so much for coming back to watch another video. Again, all 10,200 of you wonderful humans out there, thank you for coming back and thank you for subscribing. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos from us. Follow us everywhere at High Season Co. And you can check out our blog post, which we need to update more frequently at highseasonco.com. We'll see you in the next video, guys.
Peace.
Bye.